I'm looking forward to that. I'll tell you that. But yeah, massive game tonight. It is live on TalkSport. Manchester United against Tottenham in the Europa League final, live from Bilbao. That quote, by the way, Andy, right at the start of that piece, where the famous one, always wins things in the second year. It could end up being one of the greatest ever.
No, it'd be tremendous.
It would be amazing, wouldn't it?
There's a part of me that wanted to happen just for that, because I think he's a good player. I remember him when he did some TV analysis. I can't think one of the tournaments, maybe the World Cup or the Euros. I can't remember now. But he was great. He came across, and often these managers, they're under so much pressure that it does sort of warp them. They become something that they're not really. And he seems to me like a really good bloke. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Joining us now is Chris Cowlin from the Spurs Chat podcast. How you doing, Chris?
Ollie, Andy, good afternoon to you.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm out in Bilbao. Really looking forward to...
Oh, you're frozen. We were going to say to you, where do you stand on Ange? Basically, you're frozen.
Yeah, he looked so excited there that he cut off. I think, Chris, we'll see if we can get Chris back in just a moment.
It will be interesting. I mean, Daniel Levy's pretty ruthless, and if they really don't think that Ange is the guy for the future, it doesn't matter whether they win it or not, he probably will go. But
it does put Levy
in a harsh, though. Yeah, it would be
a really tough position. That, but then again, like you said, I mean, he's someone who has fired a manager in the week of their final, so it wouldn't be out of character, would it? But
then it is
harsh, though.
But you've got this period at the start of the season, before the season gets really busy with Europe and everything, where you've had a pre-season, and you've got a chance to do something. If Spurs, if they kept Ange and he made a decent start, then it might be all right. Same with Amorim, really. It's exactly whereas both of them, if they make a poor start, they're going to be under so much pressure immediately. Yeah. So even whoever wins tonight.
Yeah, very, very true. I think we have Chris back. Chris, are you there?
Ollie, Andy, good afternoon to you.
There he is.
We're about to ask you because we've been debating Ange's future. Where do you stand on Ange?
I think the Brighton home game on Sunday will probably be his last game. It has been a very dismal league season in the Premier League. Not only the results, it's just the manner of the performances in the Premier League, but we have been a different animal in the Europa League. And, as you guys have been talking about, he could deliver that trophy in his second season, and I think that it would just be like a mic drop moment of saying, well, there you go, there's your trophy. And I feel like it will be his last game on Sunday. He can go off, he can be happy that the fact that he's kept up his record. And let's face it, if he wins a trophy with Spurs this evening, he has done what a lot of people have failed to do. Jose Mourinho, Antonio Conte, Mauricio Pochettino, and the amount of great players that we've had at the football club, we haven't quite got over that line.
It's true, and also his reputation will then be restored to a certain extent, and he'll probably get another job. But is there no temptation to think, you know what, we should keep him? You never know, he might get it right, or you think the Levy and the majority of the fans want him out?
I think the majority of the fans do want him gone this summer, which is incredible, really, because we record the podcast a couple of times a week, and in the last couple of years, the amount of Spurs fans that we've had on, and they've said, I'd rather finish mid-table. We want a trophy. I'd rather win a trophy rather than the league position. And, of course, we're now in that position. It could be one of the greatest nights in our history this evening. And then, of course, the manager leaves. But, you cannot keep performing like that, like we have done in the Premier League, week in, week out. It has been very, very tough this season to watch the league games.
If Spurs do win tonight, it becomes a real plum job. I mean, they've got good players. They'll be in the Champions League. If whoever wins tonight, the future looks good. Whoever loses, the future looks bleak.
Absolutely. Of course, I was at the 2019 Champions League final that we lost, and that was a fantastic day up until 20 seconds in when that penalty was given. But I was in Madrid a couple of days after that, and I must say I didn't really talk to anyone a week after that final. So I don't really want to be, thinking about that. It's got to be a glorious night for Spurs tonight, because we've played Manchester United 3 times this season. We've won all of those 3 games, 2 in the Premier League and 1 in the League Cup. And, this is the game that does really matter. I keep saying, I keep saying that these players have got to take opportunities and be heroes this evening. They don't want to be remembered for finishing 17th in the Premier League table.
How are you feeling about the game, though, Chris? I mean, no Kulusevski, no Bergvall, no Maddison. how much of a worry is it that you're missing such key players for this?
It's a big loss, but of course, all season Spurs have had so many injuries. I know it's the narrative that the media like to use about Ange Postecoglou keeps saying about the injuries, but it is true. We've had so many injury problems. Gutted for those players, a little bit worried about the creativity, but as I said, the players do need to step up. Whoever plays in the starting 11 today, they all need to step up. They all need to give absolutely everything and be remembered as being part of a winning side, rather than having such a dismal season, because we do not want to go into next season with playing no European football. Champions League for us would be absolutely massive. And, of course, we get bantered so often about not winning trophies, not getting over that line. 17 long years without a trophy, 41 long years without a European trophy. I just hope tonight is a special night for us.
I think Andrew was right when he said nobody wants Spurs to win a trophy. Because it doesn't suit the narrative, does it, of being Spursy and all that stuff. Whereas if they lose, then that can continue. So, yeah, not always fair, really. But, I suppose they have got a record of losing in finals. We'll have to see. Finally, also, we've read a lot this morning in the papers about how difficult it was to get to Bilbao, how expensive it was, how hard it was to get a ticket. What about your personal experience?
I actually booked my flights after we beat Frankfurt. I know how these things work because, as I mentioned, the Champions League final 6 years ago, the prices were just absolutely ridiculous. And, just around the corner, I'm in central Bilbao at the moment, and hotels just around the corner are charging £3,000 to £4,000 per night.
Whoa, wow.
If you stay here next week, it's £70 a night. But I got 2 planes here, so my trip was straightforward. But I've got friends who have gone in camper vans, 15-hour journeys. They come by boat. Whatever you need to do, you get to these sorts of games because you want to see Spurs lift that trophy and be successful.
Brilliant stuff. Yeah, enjoy it, Chris.
I hope it goes well for you. Genuinely,
so
I do, yeah. That's because I don't want United to win, basically.
Exactly. Chris Cowlin there. There we go, from the Spurs Chat podcast. Yeah, I love that it's all about Man United for you, Andy. So it's not necessarily wishing Spurs well, is it? But yeah.
Just for the reasons I said at the start of the show, whatever, even if Spurs end up in the Champions League, yeah, they'll be all right. They'll do okay, but believe it won't. They're not going to become what United could be.
Yeah, it's the threat, isn't it, of Man United?
If they can return to what they were before, which is obviously what all United fans want. And tonight would help if they win.
Well, yeah, we're going to speak to a Manchester United fan next. Nathan Aspinall, darts player, is going to join us in just a moment.